Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Bald Banter podcast. I am your host, Troy Hepker.
And I am your other host, Nick Hefner.
Today, we have a special guest on the pod. His name is Tim McMahon, the owner of the Valhalla Beard and Body Beard Oil Company. Tim, how are you?
Good. How you guys doing? Appreciate you having me on.
Fantastic. I'm super pumped you're here.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been using your products for a long time. I thoroughly enjoy them. Been trying to tell this guy for a while to take the plunge and also buy. I don't know if anybody can see my shirt here. Just
Look at that representing.
get
Hey,
that
you
out
forgot
of
the
there.
muscles in that shirt, dude.
You forget the muscles in your jaw.
No, they're there. They work really well.
Yeah, I know they do. So let's see. What do we start with here? So Tim, how long have you been actually making beard oils and soap?
I've been in business for just over 2.5 years and making for probably about 3.5 years. So I started about a year ahead of time, just putting stuff together. Mostly the soap, the beard oil a little bit later than that, just because it's not as complicated. But it takes time to perfect stuff the way that I like to do it. But the soap, I just started off wanting to make it for myself just because it was, I had used handmade soap before and just made my skin feel better, helped with the eczema and stuff. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to try making this shit. And I did. And then, people were like, oh man, this is pretty good. And so then I started giving it out because, I made so much soap that, I couldn't use it all. So I just wanted people to test it and get their opinion. And people were just saying, man, this stuff is really good. So I'm like, well, shit, I think I'm going to try selling this because I wanted more money for golfing. So my wife didn't jump on me about spending so much on golfing.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's blossomed over the 2.5 years. And I'm just, from guys like you giving me a chance and, all these other people in the community giving me a chance, man, it's you guys that made it happen, not me.
Well, I appreciate you for making it. It's fantastic. I love all of it. I was telling Nick that when I first started using it and I first saw it, I was just kind of going through Instagram and going through the internet, and I saw your company, and I was like, I'm gonna give this one a try. I kind of like that scent profile, or I like this scent profile, and bought it. And oh man, never went back. It was awesome.
Nice. I appreciate it very much. I've spent a lot of time just tweaking recipes and just, I'm kind of I don't know if I'd say perfectionist, but I'm very particular in everything that I do. So I want it to be right. I know I'm not going to please everybody, but I also try to please everybody because there's everybody has different tastes and stuff.
Right. But I mean, so now if you're going to make an oil or a soap or a beard wash or something, are you, I don't want to say catering to yourself more, but going off of things that you like and then just kind of hoping that everyone else is going to like also?
Yeah, mostly. There are some one-offs here and there, like when I'll do a collab, I like to involve people in it. And
right.
But most of the time, yeah, I'm like, oh, this smells good, or this would smell good together. And honestly, it really is. My biggest help are my wife and my daughter. They if they say, I don't know about that, then I'll go a different direction.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, if I keep them happy, I could please most people, I think.
Good.
But their opinion is super important to me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now with doing the beard company that you have, the beard oil company that you have another job too, correct?
Oh yeah.
So you have a full-time job that you dedicate time to, and then as well as making all of this stuff.
Yeah. So my regular job, I work 4-10 schedule. So I work Tuesday through Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, most weekends, unless we've got soccer or something, I'll still make stuff, but most weekends I'm working minimal 8-hour days on Friday on Saturday and Sunday. And then, that's not including the stuff that I do when I get home from work. Like last night, I made some soap and I had to cut the soap and stamp it, put it away, put it to the curing rack. So, a couple hours a day, or if I'm filling orders. And then Mondays is my day off from work. And I'm also, either making stuff or, doing AI artwork or whatever it is, but I'm pretty much always 7 days a week. So I'm doing something.
Man.
Except for this weekend. I'm gonna not do anything this weekend other than chill. I'll probably have to put up Christmas lights though.
Yeah, that's a given.
Yeah.
No, take that break, man. You've earned it.
Yeah, so, I'm gonna have to take a big break over. I got the drop coming in December, and I can't keep up. It does get exhausting, and because my regular job is pretty taxing too. So
I would assume.
So I'm probably not going to do another release of anything, and and I went to the drop model to make enough to have so every 2-3 months to have that time to take a day off here and there if I can, and just make enough stuff that I could put out there to help have a decent inventory, and then got people that buy stuff up so quickly, and I like to have a store that has stuff in stock all the time, but not being able to make it daily, it's impossible to do. So right. I think I'll probably release something in February, March, but I gotta, I'll make some stuff in between, but I won't be doing it every weekend from December and January. Just it's too much. Yeah. Right. It's starting to burn me out a little bit.
And man, when those, because I've seen some of their more recent drops, and when those drops hit, it's either there and then it's gone within a matter of hours.
Oh, it's crazy. And then I get people messaging me complaining about it. I'm like, I can't control what the website does. I can't control that stuff gets taken out of your cart.
Nope.
I can't, I try to help mitigate that by, respectfully asking people to buy within limits. Mm-hmm. A lot of the people that were buying a lot of it up, because I could get somebody that does 4 orders within a 15-minute span and then want me to credit them shipping. I'm like, it's a lot of freaking work for me to, I'm getting 100 orders in, and I got to sift through all this paperwork, try to find the duplicate orders. If you're, and I don't want to sound like a dick, but if you're going to order 4 times like that, yeah, I'm probably going to put it all in one package, but then you want me to go then spend my time again and start crediting all this. At first I was doing it. I'm like, it's labor time, I'm already cheaper on my products. I'm already trying to provide a good service.
It's what is your time worth?
Right. Yeah. And it's exactly. And I don't even like, I probably don't price my stuff to value my time as much as I should.
I'm on your website right
probably
now.
Right.
And because my beard oils are $15 an oil. Most in the industry is $19 to $22.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I have it that way for a reason. I think I have a high end, high quality blend. I think my scent blends are very complex and blended nice. But I keep it affordable because the way I grew up, but we didn't have money. And my dad wouldn't be buying a $20 bottle of oil, So I'm just trying to keep it affordable, and so I'm not trying to undercut people. I'm not trying to sell an inferior product. It's just my philosophy, and I'll probably have to raise them after January just because everything's gotten so freaking expensive. But
inflation, man.
Yeah,
but that's like your emu oils that you have, the Hoogan's Council and Moon and Scorn.
Mm-hmm.
Those are probably some of the cheaper emu oil beard oils that I have ever bought, and they are friggin' awesome. They're fantastic. You can't beat your price for what you have for the product that you put out. compared
Yeah,
to
and
some of the other companies that you get.
I appreciate that a lot. And I think part of the difference there, I use quality email oil, so it's not a shit oil, but
Right.
some of the difference there in defense of some of these guys that are mainly emu or ostrich blends and stuff. I
Yeah, the
personally, in the
75%
beginning, I
blends.
wasn't a fan of bird oils. I know there are people that had asked for it, and I thought the theme of Hugin and Munin were good, as the Raven Flies is another one. And but I don't have a 50-50 blend of emu, because to me that's too thick for, again, going back to what do I like. I don't like that real thick feeling of it. And so I just incorporated that into my base carrier blend. And I put what I feel feels great on the blend of emu that I have in it, and it just worked out, and I fell in love with it. So it's yeah. So I mean, those guys that do have a 50-50 blend, yeah, I could see their prices up a little bit on that. I understand that.
Some of them
the
are.
shit's expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. But I
don't knock any of those guys. I mean, more power to them. That's the business. That's and it's kind of a curse to me too, because there are people that might want to try, and they're like, it's $15. It's probably shit, but it's just the chance I take with it. And I just want to try to keep it affordable for people.
But that's why we're here right now, to try to get other people to come and join the Valhalla Beard and Body bandwagon and get on that, and realize that products are just as good, if not better, from a small batch company than a big mainstream company.
No, I appreciate that a lot. I put a lot of time in this stuff,
Oh yeah, dude, absolutely. Let's see. I would say most of your oils are on the medium viscosity, and I like that is a happy medium for, I would say, most people, unless you're like in an extremely cold climate constantly. So I'm glad that you have the oil consistency that you do, but the carrier oil blend that you use is fantastic, and it's changed since the first time I bought it. And I had talked to you about that once, I do believe, because I had bought, well, I think it might have been like Ragnarok or something, and I was looking at the oils, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, did these change?" And you're like, "Yeah." So the meadow foam seed oil helps the scent carry longer, which is fantastic. Now with a scent profile, do you ever see yourself doing like maybe an essential oil only?
I do have some that are essential oil.
Do you?
Yeah, Utasita is an essential oil only one. Berserker's Fury is essential oil only. Tyr's Wrath is essential oil only.
Where have I been?
Yeah, look at this guy.
Man,
it's I list a description in my website, so because to me, when I'm mixing, most of my blends there are some that are only a few. Athelstan was another one that was a full essential oil. But I don't put all the fragrances. I just kind of list a description of what it smells like. But most of them are 6 to 8 a blend of 6 to 8 fragrance and essential oil mixes. I think everything has at least some essential oil in it, but there are some that are only essential oil only.
Okay, gotcha. So the ingredients that you have now, how did you come to use your current one? Like, did you do different research for what oils are good for skin, hair? Like, how did we come up with that one?
In the carrier blend you're talking?
Yeah, in your carrier oils.
Yeah, so when so originally when I started, the biggest mistake that I made, there are two big mistakes that I made. One was I have way too many profiles of soap. that's why it's hard to keep it in stock, because I've got like
Right.
almost 50 different profiles that I've made. And the ones that I keep online, like if Nick's looking online like right now, there's a lot that's hidden that I'll restock, that'll open up, just the way my website is when I stock them. But and I got to the point where, oh man, I really like these. I don't want to discontinue it. So I keep it on, then I keep making it, and I bought all the boxes for it. So it's like, shit, I got to use all the boxes, and I can't not have all the 9 realms. And so I get in my head with the theme and all that shit. And so that was one of the big first mistakes. The other mistake was when I did my beard oils to begin with, I started off with 4 profiles.
Okay.
In each one, I did a different blend of carrier in it. So I was using it. I wanted to be different. I used, some had pecan oil, some had sweet almond oil. I even smoked sweet almond oil for Sleipnir's Ride to begin with. And it added a nice touch to it, but it's like, I can't keep this up. I can't keep smoking oil. And, and, you know, and I always had jojoba, I always had argan in them. And so some of them, they were basic blends. I thought they felt good. They were a little bit heavier. Maybe didn't absorb as much as I wanted to. And so when I rebranded and I started getting into the AI art and stuff and doing more, cool looking labels and stuff, I said, I'm going to just decide on one blend and I'm going to go with it. And so I experimented for several months. But in the meantime, I like to support other small batch guys in the soap and beard community. So I buy their oils because it sounds like something that I would like, scent wise. Mm-hmm. But I also buy it to make sure I'm not copying somebody else. There are a couple of guys out there that stuff is really close to my profiles. And it's like, okay, everybody has their freedom to do whatever, but it's like, a little coincidence. So I want to make sure I'm not that guy. I don't want to be that guy. And so, or they're creating something that I didn't think of. And I'm like, man, that's cool. I want to try that. But one of the main reasons was I want to see what this carrier blend is all about. I want to see what this feels like. I want to see how it absorbs. And then, like anything, like in my regular job, if I'm writing a request for proposal, I'm writing a specification, I'm going to pull samples from stuff all over the country. And because, recreating the wheel isn't always the greatest thing, right? But you take tried and tested and true stuff, and then you kind of take what you like out of each one, and then you put it together. And that's where I came up with my carrier blend. I'm like, oh, this guy uses metafoam. I think I could feel what that's like, or this guy uses hemp or whatever. And then I took little bits and pieces and I started combining stuff, and I finally settled on it. And I had a lot of people testing stuff for me. And so that's where I came to settle on that carrier blend, and I don't want to change it because I think I got it to the point where I really like it. I haven't had anybody complain about it, so that's another thing.
Yeah, no, I really like the blend that you have now. Like I like the last blend too, but I mean, after using beard oil for so long, you use so many companies that are different, and then you eventually you start off using a company, and you're like, man, I really like this oil. And then eventually it just kind of goes to like, you know what? I don't like this oil so much anymore after I've tried this company or this company. Mm-hmm. So, and some of the other big batch companies don't evolve or change their oils. They just keep them the same. And there's no direction that they have that they're going to go with it. So,
and and everything's different, and the ones that I have in that blend now, they're long shelf life oils too, because I had one, I think it was when I started with Ragnarok, I believe I did try grapeseed in it because I saw a bunch of people were using grapeseed. Mm-hmm. And one of my buddies that I met through social media was like, hey, he goes, it feels good. He goes, but just understand that, I've had grapeseed go rancid quicker than other stuff. And so then I'm like, you know what? That's a good point. I did a little more research on it. The shelf life was a little bit less. And so I'm like, you know what? I don't want to risk that. I want to keep it, to as fresh as I can for as long. Cause we all buy a shit ton of beard oils and they're going to go bad at some point. So it's like,
I do have a few. Like I try and get,
I just placed an order for 2 beard oils.
Oh,
Come on,
nice.
What'd you get?
Ragnarok and Rise of the
That's
Draugr.
oh, see, you
Dude, see, I'm
can't
proud of
go
you. I told
wrong.
you. And
But there was no soaps. Everybody bought all
hey,
the soaps.
I'll
I
tell you
got I
what,
got hey, I got stash, man. I got stash.
I
I got a guy.
I know a guy.
He knows a guy.
Yeah, I buy him
But
off eBay. I buy him back off the guy on eBay for $20 a bar. Sorry.
oh man. No, I've been trying to tell this guy for I don't know how long.
It's been probably a year.
At least. Like, oh, hey man, you use beard oil at all? I'm like, I like this company. You should probably try some. Here we are, just now.
Well, those are two of my favorites out of almost every company that I've tried, and I've got some really good profiles from some really cool companies with great guys at the companies too that I buy from. That's another factor for me is buying off of good people,
right?
And but those are two of my favorites. Nidhoggers has jumped on top of that list, but I love how Ragnarok and Rise turned out. Probably my most popular ones. What soap are you looking for, Nick?
I'm looking for both of them soaps.
I do have a Rise. I don't have a Ragnarok, so I'll hook you up.
All right. Heck yeah, dude.
And I just made eight loaves of Rise, but it won't be ready till those probably won't, unless I sneak them on the website. Those probably won't come out till February until people see this and start bugging me for them. But I'll just say they went bad or something. But I do have one bar that left. I have one of those bars left, so I'll hook you up.
You'd be like, well, I used it, so
yeah, I used it all.
Yeah, I used all those bars. I was testing them.
But I had been telling I told Nick about Rise of the Draugr. I don't know, a couple days ago, maybe a week ago now at this point.
Yeah, probably about a week ago.
I was telling him the scent profile, and he's just like, nah, I don't know. I was like, man, I said I'm not a leather guy. I don't do leather scents. This is a good freaking scent. Like, and this is the second scent.
Threw me off was the leather.
Dude, it's a 50-50, man, with leather and people see. So when we talk about scents that I try to create nostalgia for myself and see if other people like Gen Xers kind of pick up on it, like Lithusblatt, the grape soda cologne. A lot of Gen Xers in high school, they drank grape soda, or in my case, back in those days, Mad Dog 2020 grape, or
Mad Dog.
And the cologne. I don't want to give away the cologne because it's a special one, but it was just say it's a Gen Xer specialty for high schoolers back then. But the leather. So I was, when I would go school shoe shopping, my parents, again, we didn't have a lot of money. And the only reason we went to Catholic schools because my mom was the librarian and she worked for free, but we all got to go to school, and it's small school, whatever. So you can't get creative. So it was brown shoes, blue corduroys, and a yellow shirt.
Yep.
Lame as hell. But the best part was going to the shoe store, and it was like Payless equivalent, but it was still real leather. And I would find myself sniffing like shoe sniffer guy, sniffing leather. I love the smell of leather. I cannot, to this day, I love the smell of leather.
Like real leather. If I'm going somewhere and I smell leather, I'm down for it. Like a new baseball glove.
No, baseball glove.
I like the smell of a new smell of baseball, man.
Yeah.
But I bought. I think what turned me off was I bought one time. Again, a small batch beard oil company, but it was leather, and I put it in, and it was leather, and I think like a citrus mix with it or of some sort, something. And I was like, man, what is that smell? Like, it burnt my face, my nose. I'm like, no, can't do it. So like that steered me away for a long time, and leather scents have just been a downfall for me. Another company had a leather scent, and I was like, man, I'll try it. No, I couldn't do it. So having this one, the like when you put it in, it's like the dark cherry is like super prominent, like that hits you right away. And then the leather kind of creeps in, and it's subtle and it stays there. And then you get used to it, and you're like, oh man, this is really good. And then you get the cologne scent too with it, and everything just merges, and it's fantastic. And I want to tell you, I'm sorry I doubted you for so long on that one. And Nick, I was telling Nick about Lithus Bolt too yesterday,
it was yesterday.
Yeah, and I'd slept on Lithus Bolt the first year. I'm like, nah, those scents are not for me. Like it's like the sweet. I don't do like the sweet scents. But I bought it, and it's damn good. Like that's a solid beard oil scent. Like I freaking love it. I love it.
It's a lot of tweaking too. Like in Rise of the Draugr, that was several iterations of that, because that leather comes through. It's a very, very tiny amount of leather in it, and that's the way I wanted it. But if you get something that's super prominent leather, and it depends on what fragrance you're buying from too, who has it, but it could smell like cat's piss. A strong leather scent smells like cat piss. Like I had one from a company, and I would get through the day, and when it's hot out here in Arizona, it's freaking hot. And
I'll trade you weather right now.
No, we're good. It was in the 60s and cloudy today, so I'm good. But you could, I'll go scent blind, like sitting in the office, but then I walk outside and a burst of hot air hits you, and then all of a sudden it reactivates everything. And I'm like, man, what the freaking cat spraying out here or something? It smells like piss.
And like as soon as you sweat, boom.
yeah. And then I'm like, is when my beard was longer, and I'm going, oh my God, I smell like freaking cat piss. And then I'm wondering if I'm sitting in a meeting and someone's sitting next to me, and like, man, that dude smells like cat piss. So yeah, that I don't use that oil anymore. Actually got rid of it, but it's no fault of the maker. It's just, and everybody's beard reacts differently to it. Everybody's nose reacts differently to it. So, but I've always found that really strong, too much leather ends up having that kind of similarity to cat piss.
Well, I'm glad you found a right ratio for Rise of the Draugr with everything you got going on with it, because that one's awesome. Now Ragnarok, how, like, I had already told you, I did a video a while ago, and it was in my top 3. And when we were talking the other night, and I said it's in my top 2 and it's not number 2.
Yeah.
How many times did you have to sit and tweak or do something to get the Ragnarok the way that it is right now?
That was a one-time.
That was a one-time deal?
That was a one-time to
dang, and that's
when I started putting shit together, and I that actually has 2 essential oils in it, and 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 different fragrance oils in it. I think 5. And but I just was dropping it. I take a little baggie and a cotton ball, and I'm just dripping it on there. And I was, at first I'm like, man, that's pretty nice. And then I let them sit for a day, and then 2 days, and then and I open up that bag, and I said, oh man, that's the scent right there. And then when my daughter and my wife smelled it, they're like, oh yeah. I had guys on a job site. We're building for where the town I work for. One of my projects I'm actually helping on is a large aquatics and rec center. And the contractor, we were out walking on the job, and he goes, I don't want this to sound weird. He goes, but dude, what are you wearing? And I'm like, it's not weird at all, man. I go, that's totally cool. And he goes, I told him, he goes, Well, and that's when he found out that I make beard oils because I don't go advertise. I'm not trying to be a salesman to anybody. He's like, well, dude, I got to get some of that stuff. So now two of those guys are regular customers for oils and soaps and stuff. Matter of fact, I just delivered some today to the guy at the job site.
Nice. Yep.
Can I get mine delivered?
Yeah, baby.
I don't
put it in order quick.
I will go there to get it.
All right, I'll take that too.
Yeah. When I also first started buying stuff, we had they had wax melts.
Yeah.
Probably not coming back, are they?
Those are one of the things that had to go. I could only do them seasonally because it's so freaking hot. Like our mailboxes get up to 140 degrees. And so but even though I take all my stuff to the post office, which is air conditioned and all that, but I don't know that I had any get tore up in transit, but then as stuff blew up, it's like I don't have time to make wax melts. They're a pain in the ass. I did all these. I did a wax mount for every profile that I carried in the beard stuff, and I'm like I just can't keep this up. It's too much.
That makes me so sad, but I totally understand.
Yeah, and my wife uses them a lot in the house, and I haven't made any for her in a while, so it's not like I'm holding out from everybody. I think I have enough wax to make some, but I just haven't had time. Another thing that suffered was the shave soap, which is a tallow-based shave soap. I think it's an amazing lathering, sticky lather. I love the recipe. It turned out fantastic. I've got a guy, sold him some pucks for Christmas last year, and he still has the puck and he uses every day, and he's bald. So I made a mistake of making a freaking product that lasts for a freaking year.
Jeez.
So, but I haven't decided. I might make a little comeback on that and just do it a little bit differently instead of selling it as pucks, and maybe selling it in containers, and maybe just limited here and there and just doing different scents in it. But I had one scent. It was all 100% essential oils, smelled great, but it just, I can't keep up with it because that's a hot process soap too. So it takes a little bit longer. I can't make as much at once.
Nope. Totally get that.
I was going to do chapstick at one point.
Really?
Lip balm. Yeah. But I bailed on that too. I'm like, man, I can't just keep all this stuff up. So
yeah. I mean, like, what do you do? Parts. You know what I mean? Are there, like, do you have any scent profiles that you feel like you need to get rid of?
Yeah, Athelstan's going to go away, and I don't know that it's that I don't. I love how the soap smells. The oil I think smells good, but it's not. It's for specific people. I think specific because rosemary can be very turn off to some people.
Yep, that one's hit or miss with a lot of people.
Yeah, so and I ran out of labels for it. I didn't reorder labels, and I figured I'm going to discontinue that one because that was a collab I did with these guys that was once called the Violent Monk. There's a podcast I was on. They were a couple cool dudes, and so Utasita is the second edition of the collab with those guys, and so Athelstan will probably go away when I just actually that'll be on the drop for December. I made some Athelstan, so when I run out of boxes, that'll be done. The Yggdrasil, I reformulated that, and I do like it, but again, that's another one that's probably and that's 100% essential oil soap. So I hate getting rid of the 100% soaps.
Yeah,
but it's it sells out when I get it, but I don't know. I think that's one that it's not one of my favorites. So even though I created it, but I was trying to target specific tastes, I guess, if you will. So that'll probably be another one. I'd have to go through the list, but I think there'll be some some others that'll be casualties. It's hard to get rid of Yggdrasil because that's the center of the 9 realms, you know.
Yeah,
so
that's very much so.
So it might be a reformulation thing, and
right.
I've got a bunch of boxes, and the soap box company screwed up my first order boxes, and they didn't put the text on it for the ingredients and stuff. And so I'm like, damn, you know, I was pissed. They credited me on my next order. They were cool about it, but so I bought stickers from my label company, and they made the labels for me in clear, so I could just stick them on the box. And so I invested this money into that, but then I had to get my next order to get the boxes right, so they were like everything else. So now I've got all these boxes of one that I'll probably discontinue.
Dang. I do like how you have on your soap, you have like a little synopsis of basically what it's named after, like Rise of the Draugr. Because I was like, what's this all about? And then you flip it over, you can read about what it's about. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't know I didn't know you had that on there, because I was going to Google it to see what it was all about, but it's already on the back of the soap. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I haven't kept my website up. I did have a lot of that in my website, and under I think the inspiration page or about the mythology or something. So it's just been hard to keep that up. The website kind of rolls itself most of the time, and so I'm like, I should update that, but then I just kind of left it. So a lot of the basics are in there, but yeah, I wanted to put that on the box. It's just something fun to put on it, and you know, along with the ingredients. And that Rise of the Draugr, that artwork was done for me by Shade Carpenter. He owns American Classic Beard Company. And
really?
Yeah, he did that artwork for me. It's pretty badass. It was hard to get it in the way I wanted it, so I had to kind of clip some of it and then put it in the background and all that. But I love how those Draugrs came out. But that was something that he did, so I give him all the credit for that. He's a great dude.
Yeah, no, that one's good.
Amazing tattoo artist. Damn, I see some of his work, I'm like, holy shit. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I need another one at some point. I'm sure my wife will disagree with me.
But yeah, I'm done for a little bit after the sleeve.
But that was pretty good, though. That was pretty nice.
It was a lot of work the last couple months, so I gotta just back off for a little bit. I don't know if I'll do 2 sleeves. It was enough convincing to get my wife to be cool with the first sleeve.
The first one, yeah, I feel you on that one. Let's see. Do you have anything for a new product coming out at all? I know you said you were tooling around with the idea of a chapstick, but like anything else?
Like a new, a completely new product?
Yeah.
No, other than maybe doing a little bit messing around with the shave soap, just because I'm, you know, I use that shave soap a lot. I can't use, you know, when I get lazy, like if I had a long day and I don't feel like lathering it up with my brush and stuff, I'll use like I have this Cremo stuff, and man, the scent is so chemical, and then then it just feels weird on my beard after using a natural soap. Like I use Danielle's from Thrive and Glow right now. She makes a really good one. And so I'm using hers, and that's kind of where I got the idea. I've seen hers and quite a few other companies do their shave soap in those 6-ounce containers.
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm thinking I might, do mine and just do it in limited releases where I can. But other than that, I really haven't. I honestly don't have time. It's hard enough to make the deodorants now. Deodorants are kind of a pain in the ass because they're messy, and they take time to whip up. But I get so much anxiety having to make. I made 130 of them last weekend,
Yeah.
And leading up to it, I'm like, I hate making these things. I don't know why I do this shit. And then I made them, and I'm like, oh, I made 130 DOs today. You know, that's freaking cool. And I'm like, yes, it's good. And and so I go on and off. It's like golfing. You hit a good shot and you come back, but the whole round you hate the damn game. So so that's kind of where I'm at. But I just, I haven't thought of doing anything new. Like people had asked me to do lotions. People have asked me to do colognes. I don't want to do. I know how to make them. I made my daughter some stuff, but I just don't have time.
Gotcha.
I it's hard enough right now. In the job we talked about the other night, my regular job right now is it's a welcomed chaos. That's how I operate. It's a controlled chaos, meaning chaotic, and I've got all these jobs going at once. My mind is constantly moving, and I have to keep my brain active or
right.
It's just not good for me. If I'm not moving, I'm not productive. And if I'm not productive, I feel lazy, so I can never sit still.
Gotcha.
That's a problem.
Now, whenever somebody buys a beard oil or a product from you of some sort, on the receipt, you always have a handwritten note. How much time do you spend handwriting all of these notes for people on the products that they buy?
It's a lot, because I try to, the first part about it is just thanking you guys. I think just in print rather than stamping thank you on it, I just think it means a lot more. I had that. I bought a supplement from Brickhouse Nutrition years ago. And when that guy was still a smaller company, he hand wrote a letter. The guy's name was Miles. He hand wrote a letter on that receipt. I'm like, man, this is the coolest shit. And so I've made it my mission, I guess, or goal as part of my customer service routine. I know it's repetitive. I do try, because I recognize most names in that come through and repeat orders. And if it's somebody that I know they got married, I'll say, I hope your wedding is good, or something about, I try to personalize it as much as I can. People that I don't know, it's just like, hey, I really appreciate you giving me a try or whatever. But it takes time, especially this last drop. I had 160 orders in 2 days. Jeez. And I hand wrote every single one. It would have went a lot quicker to just fold them up and put them in the box. And yeah. And I just think if as soon as I do that, I probably won't go back to handwriting a letter because it's, I don't know. It just personalizes it, which is weird for me, because, I think customer service is one of the most important aspects of a business, but I'm also a very introvert person. I don't like people in general. Most people are freaking evil. And they're selfish. I could live in a world of dogs, planet of the dogs, but I just want to show my appreciation. I don't have to be one of those people.
Yeah.
But I just want to show my appreciation to these people that make this happen. So it's just, it's a customer service thing.
Yep. When I first ordered and you hand wrote that note, and I'm like, man, that was pretty awesome. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep buying. I was like, this was a great experience. A handwritten note, it was personal. Next one, same thing. Another handwritten note. Thank me again. And I was like, man, that's freaking awesome. Like, you don't get that from a lot of people on a lot of companies, just that they don't do that kind of stuff. And then you said, as far as personalizing them for if you know that somebody got married, and how would we know that somebody got married other than you have a Facebook group called the Valhalla Beard and Body Berserkers. I'm a part of that group.
I am a part of that group.
Nick is a part of that group.
That's right. Congratulations. I haven't sent the welcome email or the welcome message to get Nick in there yet.
Oh, that's cool.
because I don't keep up with that.
I'll just cry a little bit. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just
you'll be all right. I'll give you a handwritten letter.
But there's a lot of there's a lot of good guys in that group.
I mean,
There
I'm
is.
on it right now. There's 941 people in there.
Yeah, we got to get to 1,000 so I could do a big giveaway. But there, you know, I would say 99.5% of it is all drama free because I got out of a lot of Facebook groups because it's toxic. People are fucking toxic. I don't care if you're bashing Squatch. I don't care if you're bashing Dial. I don't care what it is. Keep it to yourself. Nobody gives a shit. If you don't like it, don't buy it again.
Right.
You know, if you're gonna say something negative, you're gonna just go in these groups and just go and just slander people. I mean, keep it yourself. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what your opinions are. I do care about people's opinions if they bring it to me constructively and say, hey, this had this, or it helped, like the grapeseed oil thing. That helps me improve my product. But just do it in a creative way. I can never see myself. I never imagine myself. I buy a lot of small business stuff from people, whether it's jerky, whether it's needle felting stuff for my wife or my mom. I just got my mom something. I can never. I am into needle felting. I'll have to show you my collection.
Get it.
But I can never see myself messaging somebody or bashing them. If I didn't like it, I didn't freaking like it. Or if my order got messed up, I message the owner and say, hey, I got sent the wrong thing. Oh yeah, no problem. I'll send you something else. Or just some of the messages that I get is like, whatever. And I have to be nice because this guy is not. When I want to not be nice, I am not fucking nice. And
I'm not either. But
ask my wife. She's. I get fired up because people are stupid. Again, it's. I get annoyed walking through Costco. So.
Yeah, same.
Troy loves Walmart.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
I love Walmart. I like when you have like 3 people in front of you that are taking up an entire aisle, just like sauntering down there, like they have nowhere to be for any reason of any sort. They're just there to be there, just walking slow. And I need to get through there. Like I have turned around and walked around.
And then they're in the next aisle.
No, they're still in the same aisle, not even halfway down it yet. And I'm just like, yoink, and I grab what I need and I get out of that aisle.
Yeah.
But
same with Costco. The big wide cart. They're what are you thinking? How about you get your fucking cart out of the middle of the aisle and move it to the side?
Yeah.
So that I can get through.
So huge too.
I know, exactly.
They're so huge.
No,
and I had to go in there for yesterday to get my eyes, get my eye exam so I could get my contacts. Oh my God, I couldn't even get through. I had to dodge through all the carts that are sitting in line to check out. And I just I'm max anxiety because I'm around that many people.
Yeah. I don't like being around, like if I'm around like people that I like, friends and family and all that, I'm fine. But I don't like being in mass amounts of people.
No, I don't do concerts. I don't do shit like that.
It's not my thing. Like
I could do it at a football game, but it's really hard. It's very, very hard. But like I'm a diehard Steeler fan. So when they come and play in Arizona, I'll get good tickets. Me and my wife went to the last one and I can deal with it. If it was a Green Bay game, I would, I would probably just
shoot yourself in the face.
Yeah. I would just give my tickets away and probably shoot myself in the face.
Yeah. Nobody
I just went to the Tennessee game, dude. There's like 110,000 people in that stadium.
Wow. And 14 teeth.
About there,
just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. That's just West Virginia.
Down south, maybe Alabama.
Yeah.
I have tickets to go to the Royal Rumble in February, and there's going to be a crap load of people there. And Like I'm
Yeah.
excited to go, and I'm really excited to go, but I'm not excited to be around that many people at all.
But probably at something like that where you don't really have factions, like team versus team. It's probably we talked the other night. I went years ago when I was a Cub Scout, but it's probably more just a group of people there to enjoy just the event as it is. Like you're not,
Sure.
I would think like going to a UFC event would be the same thing for me if I was to go do that. That it's not, people sharing a common, love for the sport or whatever. Where you could go to a football game and it's douchebag city if you're in the wrong section or the people are plastered and saying stupid shit. I mean, I've almost gotten into fights just because of idiots. Again, acting stupid. Just
stupid people do stupid things.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a given. All the time. But like
Troy's wife at a Bryan basketball game.
Huh?
Your wife last year at a Bryan basketball game.
Which time?
Exactly. Did she almost get thrown out?
No. When we went to the QB Classic in Lima, so my daughter just had like a basketball tournament in Lima, and there were, I don't know, tens of parents in this gym, and it was small, and she didn't say anything bad, and it was literally like the first time she had said something. She like clapped her hands real loud, threw her arms out, and yelled, "Come on!" And apparently, one of the girls on the team had heard the ref say something like, "Oh, that lady's about to have a long ride home." Like he was terrible. He was a terrible ref, and she gets a little worked up during sporting events.
There's daughter. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Yeah, I wish my daughter would get as fired up as I did.
I wish
on the sideline when she's paid. Yeah, that passion's not there. It's not the same. I want to win at everything.
Yes,
but I mean, you've got I don't know, 4, 5, 6 different moms yelling all from this one section, and it's literally just this one section of moms and a couple dads yelling here and there, and they know they're looking like right up at you. They know that you're the one yelling. So I'm sure it'll be like a thing where they're like and point at some point, but
next Sunday is going to be hard for me. Michaela has her first wrestling tournament, and every wrestling season I lose my voice.
Oh, jeez.
Because she doesn't hear the coaches. She hears my voice whenever we're there, and I tell her what to do and she does it. But I am that loud guy. I mean, Troy, you've been to the baseball diamond when I'm coaching baseball. How loud am I?
Louder than me.
So we have this area. We have a baseball diamond that's on a corner, and then there's 2 other diamonds, and then it's the high school field. My wife has been at a high school game and heard me yelling at my son down 3 fields as if I was standing next to her.
Oh.
And everybody goes, that's Coach Hefner. We know he's here.
It's pretty loud. I usually just wait and then I stare at them until they come off the field, and then I talk to them in the dugout.
Yeah.
I do it right there.
I don't have a voice that carries. Like, I just have to walk up and be like, "Hey, this."
But then you go, "Hey, you probably want to try a different sport."
Have you ever seen that YouTube video where the coach is like, "Hey, did you ride the short bus to school today?" It's like, "No." Why? And he's like, "No reason." No,
he says you suck.
They're good kids. They work hard. They try for the most part.
At my daughter's soccer games, it's the douchey ones are the parents, either from, usually not really on our team this year, but the ones from the other teams, like on tournaments, those parents will have to sit on the same side, and the Pacers. You got
Yeah.
the Pacers and the guy like, and he's right behind me. It's like, you know what, dude, go fucking sit down in your chair. These girls are 13 and get
pretty
away
much.
from me because it's getting really close to that Tim Dickhead time. And that's a flavor that I really like, and I try to avoid it because it's addicting. And so I just, and then my wife's like, just settle down, just settle down. I'm like, this guy needs to fucking go away. And it goes on all game long. So there you got, you got them. But
I'm just a guy that stands there and yells at everybody. So
so that might get Tim's flavor of the day going at a soccer game.
But I'm just a loud guy. Like I don't have a quiet talk to somebody.
Yeah.
No,
like
that's
podcasting is hard for me because I'm used to being super loud.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so out and just talk.
That New York comes out of me a lot, and my wife will be like, "Why are you freaking yelling?" I'm like, "I'm not freaking yelling. I'm talking."
I'm just talking.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I should bring my wife down here and have her. Oh,
yeah, but she's not used to that. It's that New York East Coast thing. Yeah.
I said something yesterday, and my wife's like, "Well, not everybody's as angry as you." Oh, as these dudes were roofing a house, and it was 35 degrees.
Oh
yes.
Why would you roof a house at 35-degree weather?
So the snow doesn't leak in?
I mean, yeah, essentially. But like that layer of sealant in the shingles isn't going to adhere in the winter.
It's not going to do
You know
anything.
what I mean? Like, who the hell does that? And she's like, well, not everyone's as angry as you are. I'm like, what? I'm just saying that was a stupid move. Like, you just don't shingle a house in 35-degree weather.
Are you going to be like that all night?
Yes.
All the time.
Oh, so this is what today's going to be like.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Like I just.
God, you know what? I can't believe it's taken me almost an hour to realize this, but Nick, are you hungry?
Oh.
Yeah. And we talked about this literally last night, too.
I think he is. I wonder if he's got salted or unsalted.
I asked him what he preferred, and he just went out and bought whatever. It's cool. That's cool. I mean,
payback for this is going to freaking suck for you, bud.
Yeah, well, you wanted me to eat a block of cream cheese, and I told you that's not going to work.
I love cream cheese.
I had a guy take a bite of one of my soaps.
Are you serious?
Well, a guy that worked for me on my last job, I poured these little. I did some leftover pours, and there were these little dog paw things. They're like that big. And I brought it in for samples, and I put it in these little baggies, and I said, all right, I wanted to give you guys some. And I just put it on his desk, and he's like, oh man, where did these come from? And he takes a huge bite off of it, and he's like, and one of my other employees, she's laughing. She's like, dude, that's freaking soap. He's like, what? And he starts spitting it out. I didn't get to see it, but they were just I could hear them in the back. They were laughing loud, and then they came in and told me what was going on. I'm like, dude, he goes, it looked like a blueberry cookie or something. I'm like, well, it wasn't blueberry, but
my God.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna eat your soap, Tim.
Okay, that's good.
Dude, that would
probably
be
wouldn't
harsh.
Taste good. Yeah, it'd be harsh. So back to butter.
Back to butter.
Back to the butter. That's right. Get going, pal.
Oh. I think I just clogged the artery in my neck watching that. My jugular is protruding out of the side of my neck.
Oh man, it's so good. Does it taste good?
No.
Well, I mean, could be worse. You could have just not again. Get that Coke down there with it.
That's better.
Some foamy butter.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
thanks, man.
It's like stuck to the roof of my mouth. All right,
all right.
I can't do anymore.
The rest of it will wash it down.
Yeah. Get after it.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah.
You gonna use that for the corn tomorrow? The rest of that?
What else was we wanting to talk about? Hold on, I had something here. So Tim, hold on, I just lost all of my notes.
It's probably because your veins are already plugging up on you and your vision's going bad.
Yes. So you brought up you're a unfortunate Steelers fan.
Yeah.
How did you come up with Pittsburgh as your team? Was it your family growing up? Because you said you're from New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Western New York is close to you guys. So it was a lot of, obviously Giants, not a lot of Jets fans, but there's a couple people that Jets fans, and one in particular is a total douche. So I don't really, go in down that. But a lot of Giants, a lot of Bills. Not a lot of Bills fans until the 90s when they actually started winning, but never actually won something.
Right.
But so I started watching football. I was born in 76. So about 83, 84, I started watching football. My dad watched football all the time. He was really a Redskins guy. And because he liked the Hogs. And so I would watch with him, and he said, "Hey, if you want to sit and watch football with me, that's cool, but you got to pick a team." And so there, a lot of Browns fans down there too. So my brother liked the Saints. I don't even know where that came from. And he liked the Bengals, and I think he liked the Bengals because he was a front runner guy.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, the draw to the Steelers was the symbol, the colors. I like the black and yellow, and the symbol on the one side of the helmet was the most unique out of all the helmets, other than the Browns not having any.
Right.
And they were rival to the Bengals. So I was a Lakers fan because he liked the Celtics. Because
there you go.
I had to contest them. So yeah, and so I suffered through some pretty heavy 80s, 90s bullshit with that team. It was after the Terry Bradshaw and the the Super Bowls. I had Bobby Brister and Mike Tomczak and Neil O'Donnell, Cordell Stewart. I mean, just the shit quarterbacks for a long time. I actually cried when they drafted Ben Roethlisberger. I actually had tears, almost sobbing tears, when they drafted that guy, because I knew I was finally going to see a real freaking quarterback. And
now we can go to Troy. Troy,
huh?
how the heck are you a 49ers fan? In the
In
middle of freaking Ohio.
So I was watching football one day, and there was a blue and white team, Cowboys,
Okay,
on TV with a red and gold team, and I'm like, red's my favorite color, so I'm going to go for the red team. Red team wins. I've been a 49er fan ever since.
Okay.
But that's back when you had Joe Montana,
Jerry Rice,
yeah.
Ronnie Lott was a beast. Roger Craig was a beast.
Yep. Those guys.
Rathman was a beast.
Few and far in between now. Now you got people that can't stay healthy.
Kaepernick. When you had Colin Kaepernick.
Like what kills me about Colin Kaepernick was
he was a talent.
He's a good quarterback.
But
yeah,
was a good quarterback, but yes, a straight douche.
Yeah,
straight douche.
Like, Jerry Rice was one of my favorite wide receivers. So if I had to go top 3 wide receivers of all time for me, in favorites, it would be I would say number 1 is Larry Fitzgerald. That guy is an absolute freaking class act.
Yep.
Unbelievable talent. And he's from Pitt. And then Jerry Rice is probably my number 2. And I loved Hines Ward. I loved how Hines Ward played the game. That guy did it all. He blocked, he caught, he did the hard slot receiver task. And I just love the way that guy played the game. So I would say those would be my top 3 wide receivers of all time.
I'll agree on 2 of them. I will. I'll go with the Larry Fitzgerald and the Jerry Rice.
Yep.
Then I'm going to throw in, and I'm biased because he's a Packer, but I'm going to go Robert Brooks.
Okay.
You would.
He would. I thought he was going to say James Lofton, at least get the good one in there.
No such luck.
No.
But yeah, that's how I was a 49er fan.
Right. Well, I'm a Packers fan.
Back in the day.
Born and raised in Wisconsin, so.
No.
I wouldn't say. Yeah, I wouldn't say I ever hated the Packers. I was a big Brett Favre fan. My favorite quarterback right now is Mahomes. I love that guy.
Yeah, Mahomes is a very
good quarterback.
Yeah, I think he seems like a good dude, and in his personal life, and it seems like he's got some good values. So, no, I like that.
Yeah, that's one of my kids' favorite players. So,
yeah, can't go wrong with that.
Dob doesn't have a team; he just likes players.
Well, that's fantasy football world for you. That created that.
Yep.
I remember playing fantasy football when we were reading the box scores in the newspaper and penciling all that shit out. Dungeons and Dragons style.
Yes.
Yeah, and it took forever.
Oh my God. Yeah, but I haven't played fantasy in a while, so I don't know, all the kneeling shit in the NFL kind of deterred me from a lot of that. But I'm back.
That happened with a lot of people in it.
Yeah, but I watch all the Steeler games, so I get the ticket to make sure I can see those. Can't stand Tomlin. But
Tomlin's.
He's getting up there. He's getting up there. He'll be out eventually.
People argue, oh, he's the all-time, never had a losing season. He makes the stupidest decisions, and in crunch times, he can't. He plays down to the shitty teams all the time. And I liked him at first. I'm like, man, it's coming from Cowher is really hard. Bill Cowher just seemed like a freaking amazing coach.
Oh yeah.
And then coming from him, then you're at this Tomlin. I never heard of him, but I'm like, man, I love the way this guy coaches. And what killed it for me was during the kneeling shit, he fucking shredded Villanueva, Army Ranger, just because the guy stood at the end of the tunnel to stand for his respect for his country and his brothers. And he shredded him, where the guy that touts, oh, Witt stays in our locker room, this stays in our locker room. And he freaking destroyed him on a press conference afterward. And I lost all respect for the guy after that.
Yep.
And I know Polamalu left shortly after that. And I think it had something to do with, other than him getting up there in age. But
that guy was a beast too.
Yeah, I have to say that guy's another.
He's my all-time favorite player, period. Polamalu. I love that way that guy played, man.
Reggie White.
Insane. It's so intense, man. Polamalu was intense.
Yeah. And again, I think he was one of those good people off the field. I actually, when I worked for an engineering firm, I did a lot of work at AT&T in the data centers. And his uncle was the security guard there, retired, and he was a security guard. Guy was total grumpy dickhead, because I would go in there. I'm like, man, this guy's a dick. I can't stand this guy. Then one day he saw on the camera that I had a Steeler sticker on my car, and he starts asking. So I walk in there, and he goes, so you're a Steeler fan? And in his dick way that he treated everybody like a dick when he came in. And I go, yeah. Why, you freaking Ravens guy? And he goes, no, I'm not. And so then we start talking, and I'm like, okay. He goes, I actually like that answer, the way you responded to that. And then all of a sudden we're buddies. And he starts telling me about Troy Polamalu and that he's his nephew and everything. And his son actually, I think his grandson was playing high school ball out here and was actually pretty heavy. I can't remember his name, but he went to a pretty prestigious school. I don't know where he's at now because I don't remember his name, but it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
Small world, man.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. All right, dude. Nope.
Any other questions, Troy?
I'm
Comments, concerns?
Oh, let me I don't know. I don't
By the way,
check my
I'm
notes.
freaking done with the butter because I feel like I'm gonna barf. Like I keep feeling it trying to come back up.
It's all right. I told you I wouldn't make you eat a whole stick of butter. Won't make you eat a whole stick of butter. No, I just want to touch on, before we get out of here, I just want to touch on the drop that Tim's got coming out on December 13th. Is there a time? There's a time for that, right? 8:00 Eastern.
8 Eastern, yeah.
8 Eastern.
Yeah, so I scheduled my website to. Last time it was freaking me out because it wasn't working right the day before, and it's because Square moved a whole bunch of shit over, and I still been upset with Square, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to Shopify, but during when I take this break off, I seriously probably not going to do that because I don't want to go through building a website again and probably run into the same kind of bullshit, where everything's working the same, it's working fine, and it's like I'm just gonna leave it. It screwed up all my coupon codes, and I don't have the ability to bring them back. I don't even have the ability to create coupon codes now. So that's another thing I get. Hey, what happened? My discount code's not working. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I offer that as a thing. I probably should take them away altogether just because my stuff is already, priced lower than where it should be in the market. And, at one point my coupon codes were in conjunction with free shipping, and it was killing me. I'm like on a $150 order, 40 of it is $40 off. I'm like, dude, I got to stop. This is killing me.
Yup.
Right.
But so I scheduled the website to it releases. So it's about a minute and a half off from whatever, like on your cell phone or something. But as soon as that hits, man, it's a freaking frenzy. I'll have 30 to 40 orders in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it just from there, it just keeps going crazy. And people expect me to answer messages while that's going on, because I immediately start printing. My shipping is, I get it out the next day.
Yeah.
I pack orders as much as I can. I want it out the next morning. Most of the time I'm making 3 trips when they're dropped. I'm making 3 trips on that Saturday. It'll be 1 in the morning because I fill up the stupid mailbox, the self-service kiosk, and I'm the one bitching in there like, this fucking asshole, these assholes fill this fucking box up, and then I show up, I'm the asshole filling the box up. So there's someone mother effing me, but they modified the one closer to my house. It's about a 10-minute drive, 15-minute drive, and they modified that so more could get in there. So I'll reach my arm in there and toss them to the back of the basket. Looks like I'm stealing mail. I haven't been arrested federally crime yet, but it looks like I'm just tossing it. I'm tossing it to the back of the bin, and I know that Saturday, come Saturday 5 o'clock, they're emptying that thing. So I know if I go in there Saturday at 10 o'clock, man, it's perfectly empty. I go in there, dump a bunch. I'll go in Sunday morning. Sunday night, it's probably full because I already jacked it up.
Yeah. Hey.
So it's quick shipping is important to me. I've ordered stuff from guys that took them a month to get me a freaking beard oil, and that's like, I understand you got a second job too or whatever, but to me, that's just, people shouldn't wait that long.
No,
I don't think that's right.
But like, here's what kills me sometimes. Like you have people in, I don't want to say I've ever seen it in your group, but in other groups that I'm in, I've seen where people complain to the owner and say, hey, my beard oil is melted, or like this happened with your beard oil, and they're like, oh, it's this and this and this. Well, literally you can just like melt it back down,
right,
and stir it up and throw it in the refrigerator and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys are complaining and they want a refund because their beard oil or their beard butter, I'm sorry, is not melted. the way it should be, and it melted. Some people give people like a 1-star review for that. Like, that's not your fault.
Yeah,
100% not your fault.
No. When I get that, it's like when it left my house, it looks like this. It looks like that, so because I've had, it's looks like somebody scooped it, and it's like, okay, it was upside down or it was on its side. I can't control how that goes.
Yep. Nope. Totally
Most of
understand that.
most of the people have been good with me on that. Where I said just I go, it's a metal tin. Put it in the oven. It's not going to melt the labels or anything. Put it in the oven till you
Yep.
see that go, and then put it in the freezer for a couple hours. It'll go
Yep.
right back to where it was.
Yep. And it'll be
I know it's a pain in
absolutely
the
fine.
ass, but I can't. Even I have a very small amount of wax content in my butters, which I like. Again, that's another. I know guys complain about wax and butters. You can't even feel it in my most. It gives me just enough hold.
Right.
And but even with that, even with going to the coconut butter and the mango butter, higher melt point butters, it still melts. It's a fucking 140 degrees in a mailbox out here. If it's sitting in a mail truck waiting to get, it's hot. It's gonna melt.
Plus, your house
Yeah,
will smell
absolutely.
good.
What's that?
What?
And plus, if you put it in the oven, your house will start smelling good.
Yeah, it does. Actually,
Yeah,
it
quick,
really
fast, and
does.
in a hurry. But
I get people, I can't even smell stuff in here, but I get people who come in the house, they're like, man, it smells really good in here. And it's because I had the garage door open. I converted my single guard garage to it's full air conditioned. It's a full soap shop and everything. But my wife will walk in there when I'm making soap or such. She'll be like, or even with the soap, that's my main curing spot. I have another spot. I have a closet a dark place where I cure the rest of it, the overflow. And she'll walk in there, she'll be like, oh my God, I can't even breathe. My eyes are burning. And I'm sitting there like, what are you talking about, bro? And it's just because I'm completely scent blind to it. And I can't gain that back for a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. I would imagine not so. But no, I'm good. Like I said, your drop 8 p.m. Eastern time, 12:13. I'm excited for it. Nick, if you're thinking you're gonna get something, hopefully you get on there and
I already bought
get what
something
you want
today,
this
Bubba.
time.
Yeah, he's good.
You're not gonna
good.
get anything at the drop.
Oh, I mean, I might. Sheesh.
Man,
Really
you just laid some pressure on him.
Yeah, look, you see that pressure?
Yeah,
Peer pressure
that's pretty
like a mother.
heavy guilt.
Yeah, peer pressure.
He should be a salesman for me.
You know what I'm saying? But nope, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the drop. Get some more soap.
There's gonna be a lot of soap. There's gonna be the two new ones, the Scotty or Skatey, whatever. However, some of these I can't even pronounce myself. Which is that collab with Alexis Zuppello. She's a cool chick. She lived in Queen Creek where I work, and so we she came up with that profile, the artwork. She did a great job with the artwork and the description of the profile, and I just mad scientist the fragrances and essential oils that I had, and
I like the white
turned
bottle
out
for
really.
that one.
Yeah, I wanted to make it a little classier. She's a lady and stuff, and so I thought, well, I stray away from the regular colors that I have, and I just wanted to, and the white to go with the snow and all that stuff. So, yeah, that was cool. And then the one with Hayden is Osmond's Promise, and that's going towards 20% of the sales will go towards cerebral palsy. And great. It's kind of a collab that we're doing with his daughter. I try to do one of those a year. I did a autism one last year. That was Luca the Fearless. And then I did a diabetes one the year before that. That's kind of was my inspiration to Rise of the Draugr, the profile that I came up with that. So they'll give me what they'd like to see in it, and then I just mix that and some other things in it. So, and then I have I'm restocking stuff that I thought would be more towards the season, like Muspelheim is a woodsy scent. That's 100% essential oil soap. Berserker is 100% essential oil soap and goat milk. That's a goat milk one. Udacita is another 100% essential oil soap. Those are all woodsy type, fir, wintergreen.
Right.
I've got Athelstan is another 100% essential oil soap. That one will go. I've got Valhalla will be in that batch. I can't remember everything I made. Svartalfheim is another goat's milk one that'll be in
Mhm.
there. I'm trying to picture these in my curing rack. There'll be a couple others. I think I've got 9 other profiles restocking
Nice.
Right.
total,
Nice.
and then the 2 new ones, and then new beard stuff will be the same with the Scotty and the Osmond Promise. I have beard stuff to go with that, and then deodorants. I'll have Utasita, Berserker's Fury, Blood Eagle. Oh, Meat of Poetry is another 100% essential oil.
That one's good.
Oil,
Meat of
beard
Poetry.
oil, and that's in a DO. And then, yeah, I think that's it. I ran out of my higher melt coconut oil for the DO, so I think I'm stuck at 130 right now because I can't. My soap store isn't open this weekend, so I might. But got a lot of DOs. I got a lot of beard washes made. Probably make some more beard washes and just some restock oils ready for it. So then I'll be good to go. There's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be another big one. October was huge. I think this one will be big too. And then,
October
like I
was
said, I got to
huge.
take a couple of months off. And but I got some cool ideas. I got another collab I'm gonna do coming up for, like I said, probably February, March-ish.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna release a new profile, which will be Fenrir, Breaker of Chains. That I've been testing that out for months, and I've got a couple guys have gotten a sample of that, and I've gotten amazing feedback on it. So I like that. And then I'm creating a beard one to go with Odin, the soap, and the oil and butter will be All Father. So that one's a really nice cologne scent that I came up with. So I'm excited about that one and get that out there.
Good.
So a lot of stuff going on.
Good. Like I said, I'm excited for this drop. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's
got to get something.
It's gonna be fun. That's Fresh Snow one. It's just, it turned out so freaking good. It's so fresh. It is really fresh. I'm really happy with it. I don't want to sound like an arrogant prick or bragger. I really like the profile that she came up with and what we brought to life. Cause I send samples, I'll send 5-6 different iterations of, hey, this is what I came up with, different blends. And then I let them select what they like out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So there's a little bit back and forth when we do that.
Good. Very cool. I'm excited for it. Can't wait. Like I said, Tim, it was great having you on the pod. It was great talking to you. Good time. I had a lot of fun today.
No, I really appreciate you guys having me on, and just honored to do stuff like this, that anybody takes any interest in that shit. So it means a lot, man. I want to see your guys' stuff grow, and we'll post it in the group and stuff, and hope we get those subscribers up for you.
Sweet, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, bud. It was fun.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, bud.
Awesome. See you guys later.
See you guys.
All right.
Have a good night.
Take care.